Good morning, distinguished professional colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us in this meeting today. It's our desire that it will be a fruitful meeting in the name of Jesus. Today we are looking at starting strong in year 2022. We'll be looking at how to transform human resources through technology. We'll also be looking at some tech tools for competitive advantage this year. Because we have a lot to do, we will just leave the issues of protocols for now. We'll come back to that later on. So let's dive into it. Why use technology? Human resources management is evolving into a more technology-based profession. We are moving gradually from the traditional way of doing human resources, and now we are looking at the application of technology to this profession. Even though technology has always been there, we did not embrace it the way we do now, no thanks to COVID. So in many organizations, the people that work there now see the face of HR as a porter rather than, we individuals that manage HR. So we will be exploring the opportunities and the potential pitfalls of this human resource technology today. Organizations that have adopted these HR technology tools that we are discussing today tend to outperform those that do not. So it's my sincere desire that our eyes of understanding will be enlightened in this meeting, and we will go from here fully illuminated and fired up to really embrace this new way of human resourcing. Today we will also be revealing some tech tools for competitive advantage this year. Why is HR evolving into a more technology-based profession? It used to be traditional. Why the evolution? Why is our profession shifting into a more technology-based profession? The reasons: number one, we have to shift in order to streamline our HR process and reduce burdens, especially administrative burdens. Number two, we have to be able to reduce administration and compliance costs. The cost associated with the traditional way of doing HR seems to be high. If you compare the cost of EHR to that of traditional HR management, we will discover that the cost of traditional HR management tends to be higher than the cost of EHR. So we need to embrace this new way of doing human resource management in order to reduce human resource administration and compliance cost. We should also embrace this in order to compete more effectively for global talents. The world is a global village. Your organization can pull talents from anywhere across the globe. So without applying technology to what you do, you may not be able to effectively pull these talents from anywhere across the globe. We also need to improve service and access to data for employees and managers. There is need for us to do this, and that is one of the advantages of EHR and HRS. We need to provide real-time metrics that allow decision makers, members of the C-suite, to spot trends and manage the workforce more effectively. At this juncture, we also should be able to transform HR so it can play a more strategic role in the business. So these are the reasons why HR must evolve into a more technology-based profession. So we as HR professionals today must not only master traditional HR skills and knowledge, we must also be able to apply that knowledge via technology. In other words, we are talking about how technology can help us perform the functions of HR more effectively. Functions like recruitment and selection, functions like performance management, learning and development, succession planning, compensation and benefits, HR data and analytics, and so on and so forth. How can technology help us perform these functions better? That's what we want to look at. To start with, we need to look at the options available to us. You want to transform your human resource unit. What are the options available for you in this journey? Now, two broad options. It's either you are adopting an integrated solution or you are adopting what we call the best of breed solution. If you adopt the integrated solution, that means you are using a single vendor to develop one platform that incorporates multiple HR functions. You are engaging a single vendor to manage all the functions of HR for you. And if it's the best of breed solution you are adopting, you are using a recruiting solution from one vendor, you are using a time and attendance solution from another vendor, you are choosing another vendor to manage your payroll solution. Examples of each of these solutions. For integrated solution, you are engaging corporations like Seamless HR, System Specs, Accurate HR, Bento, and Co. to manage your HR functions. If it's the best of breed solution, you are choosing softwares like Bamboo HR, Gusto, Zoho People, Zenefit, SAP Success Factors, among others. So, as I said earlier, first thing first, you need to decide which of these solutions you want to use, because that is fundamentally fundamental to the transformation you want to carry out in your human resource department, the transformation that you are trying to effect in your organization. Regarding human resource management, you need to choose the platform. It is after you have taken care of this that we can now be talking about how to use it. You have to put together the structure first, and then we can now be talking about how to use it. So having made up your mind on which of these solutions, whether it is in the integrated solutions you are adopting or is the best of breed solutions, having made up your mind, then we can now look at how to now use these solutions. So let's look at how to use human resource information systems to deliver the functions of HR. And we'll be starting with recruiting, e-recruiting. The approach to implementing this e-recruiting vary, but a common denominator is the use of corporate recruiting website and online job boards. Across organizations, this is sacrosanct. Now, what do you stand to gain if you embrace this? Number one, you enjoy more efficiency in your recruiting exercise. The cost per hire will reduce. That's number one. Number two, the quality and quantity of applicants applying for that role will increase. And this is because you will have access to applicants from across the globe. Number three, you become more attractive to job seekers. And lastly, you make it easy for applicants to apply for the role you're advertising. Now, what are the potential pitfalls that you should mitigate against? The potential pitfalls you should pay attention to if you are embracing e-recruiting. There will definitely be an increase in the quantity of application you are receiving, but that may not translate to the increase in the quality of the application. So you see people dumping in CVs, but how many of these CVs are actually qualitative? So you need to update job analysis, revise workflows, eliminate unnecessary or redundant reviews, and you have to consider the use of screening softwares to identify more attractive applicants. Whatever solution you are subscribing to should be able to provide this service, screen the applications. Number 2, you are likely to lose personal relationship with the applicants. E-recruiting may make you lose personal relationship with the applicants. You may be saying, what is it saying? Are we supposed to have relationship with applicants? Yes. People management is about relationship building. If you don't bond with them, they will mess you up. Especially this new generation, that when they do 3 months with you, they believe they deserve a long service award. They are too promiscuous. So during the recruitment process, you must develop relationship with the candidates and ensure that you send appropriate signals about the culture of the organization to them. Recruitment via the web can become impersonal. So as good as technology is, it can be a barrier to communication and relationship building. So what should you do? Put in place social networking initiatives, online webcasts, and other targeted communications that can help minimize this loss of high touch in the recruiting process. Online webcasts, social networking initiatives, targeted communications that will help bridge this gap. Please put it in place. From the design of the recruiting website and throughout the recruiting process, you must incorporate specific steps to establish a personal relationship with the potential candidates. You'll be making a big mistake if you solely rely on the website to give top applicants a positive feeling about your organization. That'll be a big mistake. In my own opinion, I feel we should keep in touch. Put a call through to them, send them mails, invite them to webinars, invite them to online recruiting events. Use whatever technique available at your disposal to build bonds with well-qualified applicants. Please, you need to do this, because reliance on the website alone to get the job done is not sufficient. Also, we may run the risk that those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds and minorities will be underrepresented in the applicants' pools. When you compare that to traditional recruiting methods, those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds will definitely be underrepresented. And this is because these groups of minorities may lack access to the internet and may not be able to apply. So we must encourage applications from a diverse group of applicants. We must address that diversity issues, because it can be a potential pitfall in e-recruiting. So what are my recommendations on e-recruiting? Number 1, the recruiting website must be interactive. It must be pleasing aesthetically, and it must be user-friendly. Remember that those that are coming to apply are used to highly sophisticated, socially oriented consumer websites, and they will judge your recruiting website in the light of these experiences they have with other websites. So please, make it aesthetically pleasing and make it interactive and user-friendly. Number 2, the website should allow applicants customize how they view information. It will help them assess whether they are fit for your organization or not. Number 3, the recruiting website should not just be blank and only asking for CVs and providing information about the role, the opening. It must include a rich mix of information about your company's culture, the HR brand, and the work environment, so they know you even before coming to work with you. They know the culture. They are familiar with the work environment right from your website. They familiarize with your brand, your HR brand, even right there on the website. And lastly, it won't be a bad idea if you mix e-recruiting with a bit of traditional method of recruiting. That may help take care of the issue of diversity. So having dealt with recruiting, let's move to selection. There is absolutely nothing we do in traditional HR that HRIS cannot achieve for us. So Having dealt with the issue of recruiting, how can HRIS help us manage selection? Let's look at it together. Selection is about identifying the best job candidates, those who have the right knowledge, who have the right skills and abilities. The only difference between how we do selection in traditional HR management and EHR management is the use of technology to manage the process of identifying the best candidate for the job. We're still doing the same thing we do in traditional human resource management, but now introducing technologies to it. The introduction of technology will help reduce the time and resources required to manage the selection process. It will also increase the flexibility in selection test administration. The administration of the selection test we conduct, technology can help increase its flexibility. Traditionally, job seekers will need to visit an in-house or, a third-party testing center. They come there, they take exams and complete the selection test under supervision. In the same vein, applicants can also take web-based versions of the test. So whatever it is we do in traditional selection of candidates, we can also do in e-selection of candidates. Now, let's look at the demerits. What are the pitfalls of e-selection and how can we guide against it? As much as e-selection has the potential to improve selection accuracy and efficiency dramatically, there are some potential pitfalls to consider before moving to this strategy. Number one, the security of the content. When people can take selection test anywhere, at any time, there is a risk that the materials can be copied. You can screenshot it and the content can be leaked. So if this happens, that means the procedure for selection and the items for selection will be known and studied in advance. And this makes the selection test become less effective at differentiating among the candidates for the job. So when this happens, the utility of the test will be reduced. So what must we do? We must balance the convenience of web-based selection with the need to control the security of information. The web-based selection is convenient for everybody, no doubt, but we must balance this convenience with the need to control the security of the information on the test. Also, cheating. No matter how effective your selection test is, it can lose its effectiveness if the person taking the test is not the actual job candidate or he has answers to the test in advance. So when this happens, that means he has an unfair advantage as a result of the materials brought to the testing situation. Then we bring smartphones, then we bring calculator, when such is prohibited. Then can even be Googling it. They can be Googling the answers. So we must manage the selection process carefully and make available online only the tests in which cheating will not be an issue. If it's an issue, then it must be effectively controlled. So we may be looking at focusing on tests without objectively correct answers and not tests relating to things like ability and knowledge, so that we can minimize fraud and maintain the integrity of the process. Privacy and security of responses. The people we are bringing in to write this test may be concerned about the security and privacy of their responses. And this may make them be more guarded in their responses, which can reduce the accuracy of those responses. So what must we do? You have to let them know that the information will only be used internally. That way, they can release their information to you. Lastly, on the potential pitfalls, the legality of the screening and selection test. A lot of online vendors now offer various selection tests that may not withstand legal scrutiny. If the selection test you are conducting cannot be related to the jobs in the organization, then you are setting yourself up for a legal mess. Technology now scans resume. We have technologies that scan resumes for keywords. So if a keyword scanning process for resumes causes a protected group to be underrepresented, your organization can be held liable for this outcome, even if the process of the selection is managed by a third-party vendor. So we must work with vendors to ensure that any screening process used is appropriate for the specific job and the organization. So my recommendations on e-selection. Before you implement e-selection, make sure that any performance difference on the online test, they are not related to the delivery method or lack of comfort or experience with technology. Make sure they are reflective of underlying knowledge, skills, and abilities. Number 2, not only must your online selection tests be reliable and valid in general, make sure it is also reliable and valid for your organization. The tools for the web-based testing must meet the same standards as that of paper and pencil tests. Number 3, you can use unproctored web-based selection to deliver the initial selection tests only when security and cheating are not an issue. But where cheating becomes an issue, then you should be looking at web-based solutions like ProtoTrack, TestReach, and other remote invigilation platforms to help you manage the process. You can also link the data from selection, link it with other functions like L&D, like performance management system, to better assess and improve your selection techniques. So I'll just touch on e-learning and then we look at the tools. When next we meet again, we'll be looking at performance management, we'll be looking at compensation and benefits. But for today, we will just look at e-learning and then we'll look at the tools and let my brother, Mr. Alakpeni, come in for his presentation. So e-learning, what do we stand to gain? What are the business drivers? Number 1, it will help us reduce training costs. Implementing e-learning can help us dramatically reduce training costs. I learned IBM saves more than $400 million annually through e-learning. So adopting this strategy can help you save a lot of money. That's number 1. Number 2, e-learning can increase the flexibility and the control your people have over learning. You know, we human beings generally, we value the flexibility learning provides. Some of us don't like traveling, facing the road just to attend trainings. So learning provides us the opportunity to take control of our own learning and engage in training at a time and place of our choice. It helps us manage work-life balance better. I don't also need to wait for a scheduled training session when I want to learn anything. I can just search the corporate knowledge wiki or other online knowledge repository to seek the information I'm looking for. So these kind of tools can help our organization supplement the traditional push models of training with pull models of training, where employees seek and obtain knowledge as they need it. Number 3, e-learning will help you track and manage employee training better. You can track which courses have been successfully completed, the upcoming training opportunities that may fit your needs. If you're a manager, you can track the training of your staff as well. And this can reduce redundancy and training costs. What are the options available for you in the technology of e-learning? We have the LMS, we have the LCMS. What is learning management system? It's basically a software application that you use to administer, document, track, report, automate, and deliver educational courses, training programs, and learning and development programs. So people can use it to develop their talent and skills, sign up for courses, register course attendance on the LMS, etc., etc. You can design your own LMS. You can also subscribe to the service of any popular educational technology company that produce learning management system softwares. We have Otara Learn, we have Camilo, we have Absorb LMS, module, etc., etc. Now, though LMS allows you to manage more learning experiences, it don't allow you to actually create those learning experiences. So you need to use a separate authoring tool to build your learning, download it as a SCOM file, and then upload that file to the LMS to manage and deliver the e-learning. This is where SCMS comes in, the Learning Content Management System, which specializes in helping you create and deliver in the same place. It helps you create and deliver your content in the same place. We have solutions like Docibo, we have SAP Litmus, we have Elucidat, we have Talent LMS, Absorb LMS, and others that provide SCMS solutions. You can subscribe to any of them to manage that. You can also create your own if you have the technology to do that. So these are the options for you in the technology of e-learning. For me, I'll recommend that you subscribe to LCMS. The reason I said earlier that you'll be able to create your content. You're not creating your content on a separate platform and delivering it on a separate platform. You can create and deliver the content on this same platform. Now, let's look at the potential pitfalls in e-learning. Not everyone is confident and experienced in the use of technology. If your people are not confident and experienced in the use of technology, their performance in an e-learning environment will suffer. In e-learning, there's no boss anywhere. Individuals are responsible for their own learning. But not everybody will have the discipline necessary to complete an online coursework. So before implementing e-learning, you need to prepare your people, not only in terms of technology, but also in terms of the differences to expect between traditional classroom learning they are used to and e-learning. You may start by running dual training tracks until they are ready to fully transition to an online learning environment. Number two, e-learning can be isolating. It can also reduce career-enhancing networks. The lack of interaction among peers is one of the biggest concerns with e-learning. People generally prefer to learn with others, to bond, to associate, to network, and they perform better when they are part of a group. In a physical classroom, people can contact themselves frequently. They can talk with peers, they can network, and they can assist one another in the learning process. So to support connections, you may need to use learning games, multimedia projects, requiring those that come for the training to interact with themselves and create smaller chunks of learning that can be quickly shared. Attention span is diminishing, especially online. So if the materials are in smaller chunks, people can easily digest and share. It will really be effective, especially for these new generations, Gen Zs and co, who are used to receiving information in rapid, short bursts via the web and on their phones. You can also consider developing blended learning options in which a portion of the training is completed online and another portion in a classroom. For example, they can learn the basic concepts such as leadership skills or person-to-person sales techniques online, and then you bring them back together to discuss the results of their online work and to practice these techniques they have learned online. Like I said earlier, please create information sharing technologies such as wikis, where people can post information, post their researches, post their works, create chat rooms and topic-specific social media sites to help buffer the loss of physical interaction. Don't also put the materials in an existing course verbatim online. The training materials you designed for a classroom setting does not necessarily work in an online environment. For example, a course dealing with health and safety may require that certain equipment is available for practice and for the learners to take action. In the online version, the learner is not likely to have access to such equipment. So, an online version of that course might require high-resolution photographs, might require video demonstrations of equipment, showing safe and unsafe actions. You may also be deploying 3D visual models of the equipments the learner can manipulate. Now, I know some of us will invest heavily in technology after this class, but we must avoid the simple assumption that good technology alone will produce effective learning. E-learning initiatives are successful not just because of the advanced technology that we deploy, but the application of sound training design and learning principles. So if the technology does not fit your people's preferred way of learning, they will engage less. If they don't embrace the technology, they will find less value in it and they won't be satisfied with it. So just as with traditional classroom-based training, you must apply sound, scientific, supported training principles to e-learning to make it acceptable. The principles must be put in place, else we'll just invest heavily in technology and we'll get no result at the end of the day. So my recommendations on e-learning: let's design our courses to promote contact and interaction between those that will come and learn there. It's going to help us promote the development of learning communities and knowledge networks, and ultimately improve the overall organizational learning. Number 2, let's also consider blended learning. This will greatly help our people to overcome some inherent feelings of isolation, because, it brings learners together for some portions of the learning, like a kind of hybrid learning. Number 3, like I said earlier, sound learning principles and course design must underlie the design of our online course. Don't just upload verbatim the resources you use for your traditional classroom. It doesn't work that way. We must customize the resources to fit the online audience, bearing in mind that attention span online is limited. You also need to prepare your people for that environment they are going to learn. They are not used to the online environment. So we must provide them with training to help them manage that online environment and manage themselves in that online environment that is less structured than a traditional classroom. So we must prepare them, else they'll go there with an unprepared mind, and the result we are trying to achieve, they won't be able to deliver. So like I said earlier, we won't deal with e-performance management in this meeting. We won't also deal with the issue of e-compensation and e-benefits. That will be a talk for another day. So in conclusion, human resource information system, as we have seen, has dramatically altered how HR services are delivered and managed by organizations. If used effectively, the human resource information system can make human resource staff more efficient. It can make us better informed and better able to communicate how we add value to the business. So for us as HR professionals, the challenges before us will be how to manage this technology to maximize the benefits while minimizing the pitfalls along the way. Having said that, we will briefly look at tech tools managers can deploy for competitive advantage in 2022. These are tools that are readily available to you, but some of us have not been engaging and deploying them. Maybe because we don't know they are there, or maybe we don't know how to use them yet. So today I will be showing us these tools and what they can do. But for the demonstration of these tools, that will be during our leadership course in April. So note taking tools. Ideas run through our minds on the go. On what do you jot these ideas? Ladies and gentlemen, here are the tools to make notes on the go. We have Evernote, we have Microsoft OneNote, we have Google Keep, we have TickTick, we have Dropbox Paper, and we have Color Notes. Let's go to your App Store, download them, and then you can make correspondences on the go. You can type briefs on the go and make notes on the go. To-do tools. We have Todoist, we have Google Task, we have Trello, we have Microsoft To Do, we have TickTick, and Google Keep. Any of these can help you manage your daily schedule. Optical character recognition online. We have the mobile app version and we have the online version. So this is the online version, web-based applications. So we have online OCR.net, we have OCR.space, we have neocr.com, and these are places you can go to extract text from a JPEG or a PDF file, editable text. You extract this text from images and then you can edit them on the go. And the applications, the mobile applications for this, we have Text Fairy, we have Cam Scanner, we have Microsoft OpenLens, we have Adobe Scan, we have Text Scanner, we have Google Keep. And like I said earlier, OCR apps help you, electronically convert images of typed, handwritten, or printed text into machine encoded text, whether from a scanned document, a photo document, or other kinds of documents. Scanner apps. Gone are the days where you need to connect an HP scanner to a PC in order to scan a document. You can do this on the go now. The apps you can use for this, we have Cam Scanner, we have ClearScan, we have Adobe Scan, we have Simple Scan, we have scanner apps to PDF, and we have Microsoft Office Lens. For QR and barcode scanner apps, you can use QR and barcode scanner by Gamma Play. You can use the one for Zigsintim. You can use the one by TCAPS. We have quite a lot of them in the App Store. So please go there and download, and then you can shoot. Now, a lot of us prepare correspondences. Gone are the days where you need a separate editor to come and check how grammatically correct what you have typed is. Today, you can do that on the go with the aid of these tools. We have Grammarly, we have Ginger, we have Hemingway, we have Language Tool, we have Pro Writing Aid, we have White Smoke, and a host of others that can help you write more efficiently in this now world of work. For electronic signature apps, again, traditionally, how we push correspondences from one table to another. We prepare, send from one manager to another. He will have to append his signature physically, make comments on it, and then pass it to the next person, the next officer, who will make comments and append the signature. All this can be done now electronically with the aid of these electronic signature apps. When a document is prepared, you convert to PDF and send it. You send it to an officer that should append the signature, should make comments on it and append the signature on it. With the aid of these apps, he can minute on that document and append the signature and send to another officer who will need to make comment on it and sign it also. So that way, we are not dealing with any hard copy document, and then documents are moving from one level of authority to another. The applications available for these, we have DocuSign, we have Adobe Sign, we have Sign Easy, we have Sign Now, we have HelloSign, and we have a host of others. So if you go to your app store, you can download them, subscribe to the plan, and then we are good to go. Project management tools. These are tools that can help you manage project teams, irrespective of the framework you are deploying. Either you are doing Kanban or Scrum or Lean, these tools can help you achieve your desired results. We have Trello. Trello is good for Kanban projects. We have Liquid Planner, we have Rike, we have Basecamp, we have Zoho projects, we have Asana. So just download them, and then you can use any of these to manage your team during projects. Communication and collaboration tools. to keep track of conversations between your employees and team members, you need a unified communication software. These tools will let your team chat, share files, and integrate with other applications. So these softwares best work for collaborating with team members. They also help to facilitate asynchronous communications. They help you organize conversations by topic. They can also act as a digital bridge for remote workers and distributed workforces. So we have Microsoft Teams, we have Blue Jeans, we have Slack, we have SamePage, and we have Jive, we have Ring Central. We have a host of others depending on what you want. Customer relationship management tools. Initially, CRM is basically for customer service, but today it relates to an entire business strategy. A customer relationship management software can act as a single repository to help you bring sales, marketing, and customer support activities together. It can also help you streamline your process, policy, and people in one platform. So if you use these tools, how will it give you competitive advantage? You'll be able to organize your data better. That's number one. Number two is that your communication will be enhanced. Number three, it will help you with shared information. And then you can catch all leads and know your numbers. So you are no longer in the dark. Your leads are not escaping because these tools can help you manage it. Sales, marketing, and customer support. I believe this audience is not only for HR practitioners. I believe I'm speaking to admin managers also and business owners. So that's why we are opening all these tools up, tools you can deploy for competitive advantage this year. Salesforce is one of the tools. We have HubSpot, we have Zoho CRM, we have Insightly. For me, I use HubSpot. Email marketing tools. During our last leadership course, I know we bombarded you with email campaigns. Some of you that are subscribed to the program, the tool we use is one of these tools. With these email marketing tools, you can send email newsletters, you can send campaigns, you can send information about sales, etc., etc. And the tools, you have MailChimp, we have HubSpot, we have Sender, we have Sendinblue, we have Constant Contact, we have a host of others. You just subscribe to their service and your marketing campaign will no longer be the same. Now, for file storage, some of us, the moment we are not with our laptop, we are grounded. The documents on the laptop becomes inaccessible. What you can do is to sign up for a file storage tool and you can put your documents there. You can arrange them there so you can be able to work from wherever you are. We have iDrive, we have Google Drive, which is popular. We have Dropbox, we have iCloud, we have OneDrive, we have Box. If you have a Gmail account, you have a Google Drive account. Some of us have not just been using it, but it's very, very effective. I can guarantee that. And it comes with a free 15 gig space. So if you exhaust that, you can buy more spaces. Now, social media management tool. Some of us who are business owners, or some of us here who work in the marketing department, you need these tools. Social media is an integral part of the marketing unit of any organization. So rather than spending all day and night checking your Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages, you can use this management tool to monitor feeds, schedule posts, interact, engage, and view analytics, all from one single dashboard. And we have Hootsuite, we have Sprout Social, we have Agora Post, and we have Buffer. So just subscribe to them and they can help you manage your entire social media efforts. Design tools. You want to create content either for your social media, letter paper, newsletters, etc., etc. What tools are available on the go? Ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. Canva, we have Venngage, we have Adobe Spark, we have Pixlr, we have a Graphic Designer. I made a tutorial on Canva. I might share the link with you afterwards on how to use Canva. Now, for photo editing apps, image is everything now. If you take photos with your phone, maybe a photo of yourself, and you want to touch it up before you post it online, here are the applications, mobile applications you can use. We have Adobe Photo Express, we have Lightroom, we have ViscoCam, we have PixArt, we have Snapseed, and then to remove background eraser can be handy. For audio recording apps, you can use Smart Recorder, Easy Voice Recorder, you can use RecForge 2, and a host of others. You have content to create and you maybe podcast or you want to add it to your video. You need clarity in the audio. You can deploy any of these tools and you are good to go. Now, for voice to text apps, we have voice notes, we have speech notes, we have speech to text, we have live transcribe. You want to prepare any correspondence, you want to write articles, you want to prepare briefs, you want to prepare correspondences, and you don't have the luxury of time to be writing. What options are available to you? You can just dictate them, and these tools will convert them from voice to text for you. So we have voice notes, we have speech notes, we have speech to text, we have live transcribe, and a host of others. Want to share engaging content this year to support your marketing efforts? What tools do you have at your disposal to drive this? You have KineMaster Pro, you have InShot, you have iMovies, you have Viva Video, you have Filmora Go, and a host of others. These tools are available on your mobile app store. You can download them, subscribe to them. Some of them are free, some of them you need to subscribe. And then you download, and then on the go, you can edit your video and post. You don't need to access your laptop before you do this, and you don't need any special video editing skill to do this. Just imagine the kind of advantage you are going to have if you have a rich social media page, rich in terms of content, video content, images, quality sound, and quality content. So you can imagine how rich it will be. You don't need to break the bank before you do this. You can do this right on your phone, and these are the tools we are showing you today. So the tools we have been showing you are tools to do more in the area of management, in the area of project management, in the area of marketing, in the area of customer relationship management, in the area of content creation and management. These are the tools we have been showing you. If it's the laptop you want to use for your video editing, these are the tools available to you. We have Adobe Premiere Pro, we have Apple Final Cut, we have Cyberlink, we have Filmora Pro, and a host of others. Pinnacle is there, ScreenFlow is there, and a host of others. I'm going to stop here now. So far, we have looked at how to use human resource information system to transform human resource management. We have also looked at the tech tools we can engage and deploy for competitive advantage this year. Thank you very much for your time so far. I see that everybody is still here. I deeply treasure you.